Hello everyone, welcome back to another stream. We're continuing with the mind-breaking puzzle madness. Hey Larenthal. So last time we finished, or at least we finished one possible ending of Superliminal. Later, between streams, I heard there's another ending and some secrets, so maybe we'll return to that game sometime. But now we're trying out the Stanley Parable, which is supposed to be just as mind-boggling as Superliminal, but in other ways. So let's see how it goes. I want the game in English. I have not played it before. Okay. More endings, yeah. There's supposed to be more endings to Superliminal. Can I change AM and PM? Oh. Okay. Begin the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, depressing job indeed. Also quite impressive to press a key for 61 milliseconds. Exactly. Okay. How's the sound like? The game sounds a bit hard for me. I'm not sure. It's a bit loud. Is it okay for you?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yup. Yup. What? Yup, it's okay, or yup, it's loud?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Yup, it's okay. Okay. I'll just change it for myself. I have to hear myself thinking. Okay, so a lot of cubicles, but no co-workers. No one pushing buttons. I hate Mondays. I have to hear your inner dialogue, yeah. Who knows, I might know something I don't know. Wow, what a depressing
When
office.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
He entered the door on his left. Okay, so pick right. Yeah, I was thinking, am I going to be disobedient right from the start? Probably.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, that's it. I want to admire the employee lounge. Oh.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
No, I'm moving around. Can I get a soda in this game?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Yes, exactly. I have to catch my breath.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
So harsh. I'm just admiring the room.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
No, I don't think so. I think there's more dialogue. I'm not receiving a message. Can I jump? No. Crouch? Oh, I can crouch. I can't pick anything up. Coffee nut. Okay. Fuel. Still no drinks. What is it with puzzle games and soda machines that don't give actual sodas? Okay, so maybe there is no more dialogue. Oh. Okay.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
First open door on his left. Nah. Okay.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Why is half the office a construction site? And why are all doors closing behind me? Warning! Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. And a $5,000 fine. I'm not sure who's gonna pay that.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For her? Ooh. Exciting. I realized there's an open door over there. I should have jumped off the cargo elevator. Oh well.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Should under any circumstances attempt to... We'll never know. She, yeah. I'm also wondering what he is talking about. Is it my puppy? My wife? My daughter? My car? Ooh. Darkness. Let's step into the void. Oh.
That's her, Stanley.
Okay.
You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another,
Puppy.
then pick up the phone.
I don't want to pick up the phone. I can't place my faith in someone else.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Wow.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people.
Wow.
Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Right.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Okay. So that was helpful, I guess. Danger everywhere, yeah, and stop all over the walls. Okay, revisit the choice, sure. Are we going all the way back? Oh.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
Oh.
Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Boring. I can't jump. So, okay. Can we admire the room some more? This beautiful room with the chairs and the paintings.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
But the paintings are so beautiful. Wait. What did this cup say? Who farted? Okay. Great cup for the office. Number 1 dad. Something mama? Ah, shame I can't jump on the chair. Okay, so the door on the left. Where's the door?
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Wow. Wow. Reality can't handle much. Can I go in again? Nah, it won't let me. Okay. Okay, fine, I'll go left. It's so boring in here. Why are the chairs?
It's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
It's actually shutting the game down. Didn't see that coming. No.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
True.
Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No. I want to ruin the game some more.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, one more time. Oh, he's not interrupting me. He's given up, I think. He doesn't care anymore.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
No, it was just slow for some reason.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Can I go back? No. Okay, we'll go left this time. We'll see the fancy underground facility.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Ooh, important job. Whiteboard manager. The future was yesterday. Tomorrow is you. Okay. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Wow. Efficient office. Employee numbers. 431 to Jim. Okay. So there's one guy with an actual name in this office. So is the person named Jim or is the job named Jim? The boss appreciation minute. The the slides are moving too fast to read them out loud, but they're interesting. Comatose? What? Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Don't get fired. That's the best tip. I can't read that fast. Oh. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header. Everyone is unique, you most of all. Number 437, something like that. Number of slides on this slide. Good chart. Rated with charts on the same slide depict the same information. Slide chart ratio. Wow. Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Please no more charts, I'm begging. Ah, we've gone a full circle. Okay. Bi-quarterly post-review. We need less reviews. More water coolers. More water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Wow. What do people want? Things, money, more money, things, but with money to buy more things. Graphs about things and money. Profits. Synergize core value expenditure. Shift global market paradigm. Monetize free to play. Yeah. Let's monetize free to play. Pay to win. Broom closet. Oh, I can't enter the broom closet. Oh, stairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I can't even go downstairs. He's removing my choices. That's not fair. I was making such nice choices. Oh, wow. The boss has a nice office. Fancy, yeah. The beige pages. So where's the boss?
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Guys, a lot of paintings, but this painting creeps me out. Business strategy with someone holding a gun to a panda's head?
Stanley spoke
Why?
the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Poor panda, yeah, right. Why is he holding a gun to the panda's head? What has the panda done?
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
I am the
Please
most
speak the
expensive
code
boss.
into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I also like Sewage
Okay,
Lilies by Cloud
fine.
Money.
You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
I was just admiring the paintings.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
The end?
I need you to walk through the door.
What?
Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley,
What?
this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose.
Shortest game I've seen.
This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay.
Poor narrator.
I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
Sorry,
It's all right.
Leroy. What?
I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do.
Is Leroy the
Take as
narrator?
much time as you need.
Okay. Oh, we're just starting again. Okay. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so apparently we found one of the endings already. Just because I wanted to annoy the narrator.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the
Fine,
door on
fine.
his left.
We'll go left. We'll be nice this time.
Yet there was not a single person here
At least for a
either.
while.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
Ooh, we can go
Coming to
down
a
now.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
So
office.
much for being nice. I know. I couldn't help myself.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting that.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Okay.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Yeah, that turned dark really fast. Okay, so that was another ending, I guess?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, I keep forgetting to go right and jump off the
Yet there was not a
elevator.
single person here either.
Next
Feeling
time.
a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
Up to
Coming
the
to a
boss's
staircase,
office.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ooh, executive bathroom. Oh. Nothing's changed here. Okay. Oh, this office looks different.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
For fancy
Shocked,
bathroom breaks.
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
So...
Stanley
we
just
don't
sat
know the
around
code.
twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
I wish we'd known the code.
2845.
If only we knew the code, it would be so much easier. But where can we find the code?
Forgot, but
We'll
it
never
turns
know.
out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Even I am annoyed right now. Yeah, the narrator was as well. stage of the office. Boop.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
So he's doubting pushing buttons for his entire life? Shocking.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Ooh. Escape or mind control facility? Where do we go? I mean, the sign says if the light is on, call extension 914 immediately, so there must be something wrong. So, where do you want to go? Do we follow the narrator? The narrator wanted to go to the mind control facility. Do we give him a break and follow the story? Then escape. Okay.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Okay. Show me. Can't
The
scare
door
me
behind
that
him was
easily.
not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No, you don't scare me.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yes. I've died once. How bad can it be? No. We didn't die.
As the
Yes.
machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Goodbye. Squish.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What? We switched narrator? And we didn't die? The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be
Okay.
just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Wow. Stanley's computer, nature paintings. Office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Wow. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. The corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. Filing cabinets. The two doors. The set of the two doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. This game is trippier than Superliminal. Yeah, definitely. Superliminal was a walk in the park compared to this. Button sounds. Nice selection. Very nice, very nice. The Office. Credits. Let's go this way. Maintenance room. An early version of the maintenance room. Ooh, more paintings. Fun. Ooh, a lot of money in this one. Is that how we win the game? Earning a lot of money? The lounge. An early version of the lounge. Oh, the later version is prettier. The apartment timer. In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Ah. We unplugged it. The cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. Yeah, you always need the option to fall to your death. The second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted it to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. Okay, sure. Maintenance layouts. The flow of hallways following the first two doors was important to get right, since players will replay them so many times. Oh god. It was the simplest version, that one. Obey, disobey, lounge, maintenance, staircase. Sure. Meeting room. So is there actually like clues in here on how to complete certain sections of the game? Because maybe the Zending. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't walk around here too long and discover things we haven't seen yet. This feels like a room you can go to after you finish the game. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Maybe there's some clues in here about rooms we haven't completed yet. So let's find the exit. The evolution of Stanley's office from left to right. Doesn't change too much. So, where is the exit? Is there an exit? Oh, exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Can you see? Off the game.
Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Okay. Split, yeah. I wasn't expecting it to actually crush me to death. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to
jump
admire
off the
it.
elevator.
Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh right, that's also an option. But no.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong... But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Oh my god, the sound, yes.
Stanley had never seen the
look that
office
high,
this
to be
brightly
honest,
lit.
but-
Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. No,
Stanley was so
door.
bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
No, I love this game. This is great, yeah. I love the panic in the narrator's voice. No buckets past this point. Okay. Ooh.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No. If only
I
you
still
could
don't
pick up
think
a
we're
bucket.
communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yeah. Nah. I like the blue.
All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Thank you.
You see?
Ooh.
There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did.
He's so
and in the end,
salty.
it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles?
Ooh,
Skill
yes,
trees?
vehicles.
Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback.
Vehicles?
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Ceiling light. Okay. Let's take the new door.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your
No, go
experience
left.
with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices?
Sorry.
Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Please rate your experience. Can I leave? No. I think it's a 1. I didn't really
A
benefit.
1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Okay. Oh. Wow. The worldwide leaderboard. The awards one was going down. Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. This is you. Oh, I'm last. Why not ask some friends for help? Error, friends list empty. Painful. 98.9% of players are more attractive than Stanley. At that rate. Wow. The game doesn't really play nice. Okay, let's go through here again.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
Neither do you.
Honest answers, please.
Fair enough. Did the leaderboard help me? No. No, not at all.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger.
Ooh.
You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course,
Poor
the
baby.
message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Wow, the sound.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain?
Oh, yes.
Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted, erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
The S. Who firewatches the Firewatch? not sure if this game is by the same developer. School S, yes. There is a game called Firewatch or something like that. Jump? I can't jump. I can only crouch, but I can't jump.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
What? Nature? Birds?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Block it off, what?
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Games. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
The horror.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Oh.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind.
Rocket League.
Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Okay, let's get lost.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Oh. Can I run? It's really... Ooh, dunk. No. Hit the ball.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than
so
my
much
miserable
fun.
little story that I worked so hard on?
Whee.
Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
We're escaping the narrator. Oh. Oh, another ball. Dunk. Ooh. Where are we? It's all unfinished. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, it's the office. Can I find my office? Oh, there's a light on. Hello. Let's see. Should be this one. Wow. That looks glitched. Why is someone watching me on security cameras right next to my office? Not creepy at all. Interesting. Oh, what happened?
I wonder what he found.
Ah.
If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice.
Very happy.
And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it.
No.
He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me.
Nah.
Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Creepy.
I can wait.
Okay. This game.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
And back again. Yeah. Okay,
When Stanley came to a set of
go
two
to the
open
right.
doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
And
Perhaps he wanted to
jump
stop by the
off
employee
the
lounge first,
elevator.
just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
no.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Too fast.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley.
Thank you.
You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Okay, so we can go through this door and give him another grade, see what happens, or we can go through one of these doors and see what happens. So, where would you like to go? Left? Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Yeah, it was way better to have 3 choices.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try.
Oh, you're awesome.
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Gladly. The leaderboard again. So that didn't change. Are we now still number 9,000 something? Or are we higher up because we gave him a good review? We're still losers. Okay.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Yes, very motivating.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect.
to kill
Let me
babies
boot
again?
it up. In this game, the baby crawls
Okay.
left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
That sound is really annoying. So, does this really go on for 4 hours? No! I can't let the baby die. Poor baby. Oh, the sound is so annoying. Just let him die. My poor ears. Stop. Okay, I'll let the baby die. Okay.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here?
Back to Firewatch.
Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Ah, fascinating.
The open world
horror. What do you think
horror.
this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there. Oh, no. No, it can't be.
Oh, I want to visit the outhouse. Don't block me in. Let me go.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Oh.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any...
I want to go outside.
Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing. Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Give me a ball.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Maybe more like his puppet.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Dunk.
Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
Ooh, another ball.
Yes. Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
All the balls. Oh, wow, okay. Dunk. Oh. Dunk. 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 Dunk.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun?
Oh, I'm
Is this a
having lots of
real
fun.
video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
Over?
That's right.
Oh.
Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides,
wow.
you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
He is a mean man. No. I'll just run away. Goodbye.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Dunk.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that.
I don't want your help. You're mean. Leave me alone. I'll make my own game. Oh, we have to go to our office. Okay. Yeah, that's where we came from. Okay, okay. Mm-hmm. Our creepy office.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
No sound? What? What are you talking about? Is there no sound?
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Never mind. Okay. So, what way to go? Somehow mute the stream.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What way to go this time? Don't laugh at me.
This was not the correct way
Definitely
to the
laughing
meeting
at you.
room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love.
Just as mean as the narrator.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Shall we go left? Or do we go through the red door after we jump off the elevator? Left? Okay.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to
Yes.
get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Left? Okay. I'm glad he has a
Oh,
map.
no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll go
No,
back.
no, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
Yeah, what
it's
were
clearly...
you thinking, man?
Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Oh, he's holding the map upside down.
Let's see, we went down
Always
right,
happens.
left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh, okay. Definitely this way.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just
employee
back
fired.
To, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Wow.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait. What? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
No.
Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Okay. We can't go here. Let's find the story. If I was a story, where would I go? I feel like it would be over here. Yes, this definitely feels like a place where a story would hide.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
No,
Well, I
I
find
can
it
find the
unlikely
story.
that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh, I almost found the story. I'm sure of it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go
office
to the
looks
meeting
different.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No
Okay,
doors.
yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay, okay. Yes. Where did we leave the story behind? Must have fallen out of our pocket or something.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Oh, we're getting there. I can feel it. The
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
no.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations!
We won!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all.
Aw.
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Oh, he's taking
Okay.
it away.
I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Oh, no fair. You can't tell someone they've won and then restart the game.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Okay. It's very simple. It's not going the way we were going the first time.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
To destiny.
Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a
Question
bit of
mark made of
music to
question
lighten the
marks?
mood.
Ah, yeah. This light.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this
Ooh.
fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. Yeah, it's a very pretty fern. I've got it all memorized. Okay. Let's hope that isn't really important.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
I don't know. We're back here.
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
The line's still here.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Oh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Sure. Maybe we can make it an open world game.
Yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Oh, let's imagine a great story. With ferns.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I'm ignoring the line. It's not part of our story.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
Awesome.
How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay,
good idea.
So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
Yes.
Another victory for logic.
Great
Come,
logic.
Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Oh shit, I wanted to go left.
Oh, hold up, what's this?
Oh, both doors lead here.
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending?
You've been playing
And we're
the
supposed to
confusion
restart the game
ending for
eight
17 minutes.
times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really?
So
No,
we're going
it
for the
can't be.
5th restart
I
now.
don't want it to be. I don't want the
Out of
game to keep
8.
restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
You will.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The,
How?
whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
It's a great ending.
I guess
Stanley
now we just
dies.
wait. You know, I suppose in some way that
Find
this
a
is a
bookstore.
kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
What?
A soft
Okay.
wind blew outside and perhaps rain started. And if it did, it stopped shortly after.
It scared me
Stanley
a bit
hoped
too.
that he would one day see weather.
He hoped he would see weather, yeah. New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Ooh, we're moving. Ooh. An exciting adventure.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Wow.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
I'm sure of it, yeah. Mesmerizing.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Oh, new content. Exciting.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Oh, the content.
All right, let's see. It's
The jump
the
circle.
jump circle.
Oh, I can jump. That's new content. You couldn't jump before. Oh, exciting. Jumping, so exciting, yeah. So exciting.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else,
One
right?
more? Maybe. Okay, fine. No. Now I can jump anymore. Oh, I got an achievement for trying to jump again. Oh, another elevator. More exciting
Another
content.
elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
Yes.
If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Exciting new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, Why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
Yeah, good
No
idea.
frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Yes, I would like
What do you say, friend?
a great time with the narrator.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Okay. Down here? Dunk. Exciting new content. Ooh.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
Wow.
Just our little secret. Take a look.
Wow.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want.
That's
Experiences
not an open world.
like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Ooh, we get to relive the launch of the Stanley
You see,
Parable.
Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Wow. Audience award. Good times. Ah. Postcards. Our first kiss, my first car, the release of the Stanley Parable in 2013. Ah. The original remake. Ah, good times. Smile because it happened. Bits of music. $1. Okay. Demonstration. Ah, the demo. Don't play for 5 years. Is that an achievement? What? It's impossible to get this achievement. Okay. New video game releasing today. Oh, we saw that ending. Oh, so peaceful. Oh, what's this? In loving memory, little Stanley. Aww, it's a hamster.
Mémorisons cesse la pluie des vélos et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Right. Bad news, I need to go very soon. Aww. Such a shame. But we're having so much fun with the narrator. In the memory zone.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Oh, I can't go here. The serious room. Ooh.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh no, not the Steam reviews. Oh no.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Ah, such profound philosophical insights. No room for jokes. Very profound indeed. Yes, very profound. Oh, another bad review.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
Ay.
While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
No, not at all.
You can tell me if I'm
You're
preachy.
lovely.
Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. To be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Oh, poor guy.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button?
Oh.
Well, yes.
Goodbye.
Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Ooh, what a beautiful skip button. What's on the back? Nothing. Let's skip ahead.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't
Yes,
be
it
just
does.
yet. No, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is
Great
why I
story.
say... The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by
It
becoming it is,
restarts.
so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to
fine, I'll skip
manufacture.
it.
It went on for nearly 10. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said
Skip.
choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a
has
monument
a
to
great
every
treatise.
person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once.
Well,
that you are both
he's
making
very good
choices
at saying
and
a
not
lot, but
making
not
choices,
saying
and
anything
that they
at
are
all.
both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it.
Perfect
But
for
wouldn't you say
politics, this
that
guy.
manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. Ah. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am
great
not sick of
method.
shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto, 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 treatise, manifesto,
The guy who
treatise,
recorded all these lines.
manifesto, treatise, manifesto, treatise,
Okay.
manifesto. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps
likely.
they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
Oh, he already stops here. Oh. Boring.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming
door's
longer
gone.
and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I
Very
do
shocking.
suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go?
good
Wasn't there a
question.
door that led into this room?
There was.
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall?
You can try.
Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm
Walls are
asking you
solid.
to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good.
Yes, got it.
I'll be right back.
Press the skip button.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've
For
looked at it
12
from every
hours.
angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise.
You
Oh,
can't.
my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child. Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself.
Imagine
I can't
being
stop myself
Cookie
from
Nine.
lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For
Quite
whose
an honor
benefit
to
is
be
this?
included in the game,
Here
right?
I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press
Someone
this
going
button.
crazy over your
Become
comments.
frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews.
Guilt tripping.
Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back.
The plant is dying.
I have someone to talk to again.
How long has it
Stanley,
been?
I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that
All the
feel
lights
like
are
what
dying.
we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction.
Yes, an
Was I
existential
scared
crisis.
of that all along? Perhaps. Yes.
Poor guy.
Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away.
So far
And in those
away.
moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am
Button
truly
started
and completely
tempting again.
here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something.
You're
I am
too
being
impatient.
listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall.
Poor
You see what I'm
Planto,
saying,
yeah.
don't you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all.
thing it
I
wasn't
feel
the fern.
renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it, to think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here
How are we
for just a
surviving
moment.
for
Let
weeks
us
at an end?
anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
Apparently time still passes if the plant dies, but we don't. Poof.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time.
Oh,
I stopped keeping track
completely dead.
after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only
Year,
the turning
yeah.
wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past.
The AC still
And when
works.
that feeling had begun to subside, What took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment. And I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being.
Finally.
I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible. The spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible.
You can rewatch it on Twitch
Not
for
that you
7
might
days.
save me or do something to fix it, but merely to
I've
state
also
for
linked
you
to
the plain fact of
my
this
new
manner
YouTube
of
channel
existence. I wish you
on
to feel
Twitch,
afraid as
where
I
I'll
do,
post all
that
these
perhaps
videos,
one day this
and there
state
you
of
can
mind
watch
will
them
consume
forever
you
and
as
ever
well.
and ever
Perhaps
and
you
ever.
will somehow, in some way,
For a
have
year
to live as
without
I do
talking to
now,
anyone.
and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its
Don't
eventual
forget
arrival.
to water your
If
plants,
I
though.
can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
Yeah, so the YouTube channel is for all the VODs. They'll just go on there uncut. I'm not going to edit anything, but at least you can rewatch them there, because Twitch removes them after 7 days, so that's pretty inconvenient. So how long has it been this time? The narrator is gone. He died. Maybe. It's awfully quiet. Oh. Fire alarm finally died. But yeah, have a nice night, sleep well, and have fun rewatching this sometime.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to
Good
be
luck,
funny.
yeah,
It was meant to
thanks.
have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But
He's
where are
alive
the
again.
jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been
he's
given
going
to
crazy.
indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes, it seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves, they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam.
That's probably what it was.
Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amuse them endlessly from start to finish. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said,
You're still alive? Oh, even the AC stopped working now. Still no door. How many years are we skipping? Or just skipping until
is never the end, 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 is never the end,
poor guy's going crazy.
End is never the end, is never the end.
A lot of water leaking through. Okay. So maybe the roof will be gone next time we skip. Oh, wow. Okay. Yep, everything is breaking down. We can't exit through here. No. One more skip? Ooh. It's light outside. Okay. But we still can't exit, so another skip. Nature's reclaiming the building. Wow. What? All the plants are gone? Did Earth die? Okay. That sounds creepy. Okay. The button fell down. Oh no. Oh, it's broken. But we can finally leave. Oh. So... It's an open world game after all. Okay. Sure, let's head in this direction. I don't think it matters too much which direction we choose. Oh. Is this another ending? Hey, we're back in our office.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Okay, so it's still not a true reset. New content. Awesome.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Oh, something exciting. Ooh. Where are we going? Oh, another elevator. Okay.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh. Wow, version 2.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Ha.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
Yes,
Ultra
way
Deluxe?
catchier.
What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams
laptops.
progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
They're back. 2 doors. Can't read this. More TSP, better TSP, win-win, sequential mindshare, the color red. Ah. So many great ideas. Lovely flat screens. So modern. Glass doors.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
2 eyes, 2
I figure
arms,
that
2
if I can
legs.
loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, Divinity Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Dark Souls 2. Right. Ah, can't go wrong with a sequel. This way to the show floor. New features. Wow. New content. Expo Hall 2. Wow.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Wow, he really put some work into this. Ooh, merch. The Stanley Parable 2 Reassurance Bucket. Okay, okay.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley,
Ooh.
anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the
Oh, I
gentle
can grab
embrace
it.
of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution.
Perfect.
Come on, give it a try.
Oh, the bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Oh, so charismatic.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
It's a perfect
All
bucket.
this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Ooh, I can keep the bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Ooh. Hear your name in the game. Oh, I want to hear my name.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first
the
and most
perfect
obvious
button.
answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
Oh.
Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
Oh.
But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim. Sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim
Wow,
watching
some
your
method
dreams
acting here.
crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I'm very
If
Jim.
so, then please step forward and press the button.
I'm Jim playing this game. Ah, I hope it says my name.
Jim.
Oh, great.
Yes, you see,
Ah,
what a
what a
thrill, what a
lovely
rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Ah,
It hits even harder the second
It
time.
feels-
If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal
I
validation.
understand. That was very intense. Thank God we have the bucket. Our emotional support bucket.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That
Please,
would
no
actually save me the
screenshots.
work of finishing this feature.
Jump circle. Ooh. Is the jump circle back?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get well someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Yay! Ah, so applicable.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Yes, moving on. Free new easy achievement. It just works. Get it here. Ooh. Pull the lever, receive your achievement. That sounds
Now
great.
here's something special. You
want
remember
an
that
achievement.
broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Like,
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of
Getting my
ravenous
hopes up for
fans all
nothing.
over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
oh. Make it work. Oh. Such a shame. Good thing I have my bucket.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Collectibles. Ooh, Expo Hall Guide. The button that says the name, we've done that. 5, this map, okay. A9, collectibles, right. E, exit, no, we don't want to go there. Free achievement, yeah, that doesn't work. Okay, infinite hole. Okay, we haven't done that. Merch. The bucket. Epilogue. Jump circle, and honestly I don't get this map. We're going for the collectibles. Let's see what he has in store for us over here. Can you find them? Can you find them? Collect them all. Okay. Can I put them in my bucket?
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative
Where are
is that
they?
there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Right. Oh. Can we collect it? Yay. 0 out of 6. 1 out of 6. Yay. Ha. We got 1. But can we find more?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
So tragic. Who wants rewards? When you can just see numbers go up. Ooh. Is this
All
the
right,
infinite
have you
hole?
seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
No, wait. I'm not ready to move on. I want the jump circle. And the infinite hole. Did I go the wrong way? Oh, it's the exit. Yeah. Nope, nope, nope. Where is the jump circle? Oh, here's the jump. Jump
You know
remaining
what?
0.
Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well.
Yes,
It's-
please.
Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Oh.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Oh. Such a shame. Okay, the infinite hole. depth infinite. Infinite hole chart. More hole, infinity, falling, science. Much science.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time,
Never
if
been
you
done
like.
before.
A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Especially not in Portal 2, where you could fall forever if you put two portals above each other. Oh, let's go.
You see, isn't it wonderful?
Ah,
One of my more
infinite
ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
But I want to
Maybe
fall
do it on the
infinitely.
sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why? I can fall infinitely, right?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
Yeah.
Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
Just very, very
deep. If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
But I want to fall. I want to fall more. I don't agree with calling it nearly infinite. It's not nearly infinite enough. Okay. We'll go to the surface.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Mostly infinite hole. Okay, I think we've seen everything. We went there, we saw the jump circle. We heard our name if we pretend we're Jim. Yeah. Okay, let's go for the exits. See if this story ends or not. I'm wondering if we're still in the confusion ending and we're waiting for reset number 8 or not. Please, no screenshots.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment.
Ooh.
I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Ooh, exciting.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Wow. Very exciting.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right?
Great
It's
game.
sort of... Okay, never mind.
36
Hold on.
jumps.
Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Ooh,
Who am I
collectible.
kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
Nope.
I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original.
Oh.
Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
Very tastefully.
With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
Ultra Deluxe Edition.
Perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Ooh. The Stanley Parable 2. Begin the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Ooh.
Stanley worked for a company in a
The
big building
balloons.
where he
God.
was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every
the
day,
fancy monitor
of
show.
every month,
And
of
the-
every
the-
year.
the
And although
bird books.
others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Ah, happy Stanley.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order
Not a
had
single
arrived
order.
on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in
How
all
could it
his
be?
years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
What could be going on?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Wait, where are the collectibles?
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could
Uh,
his co-workers really all be gone?
No collectibles here yet. I want numbers to go up without getting a reward. The doors aren't closing behind me. That's strange.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his
Okay.
chest and entered the door on his left.
Nope.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yes, the bucket has told
And
me.
here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Ha, so insightful.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Oh,
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
no.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
How do we get over there?
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Bucket sounds kind of evil. Ooh.
Now pick up the phone,
said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us...
I'll always listen to the bucket. It's so
This
insightful.
is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Hi, bucket. Ooh.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Nah, it's definitely speaking to me.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
I'm happy with my bucket.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
It does. It's a great companion.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal. It's sad.
To the
I
bucket.
suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
It's the best bucket ever.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Home to work, to home to work, to home to work, to home to work.
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand.
Can I marry the bucket?
Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Oh, bucket.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it.
Bucket.
Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
We're happy. Oh. We're so happy together, me and the bucket. Why did he steal the bucket? Oh. Okay, guys. I think this is a good place to end it for now. Because there doesn't seem to be an end to this game. So we'll continue here the next time and see how many more strange endings we can find, and maybe we'll find out what happens to the bucket. And what happens to the narrator when he goes insane again. And we'll find out more about Stanley Parable 2, I guess we're in now, so we'll see where it leads us. So, until next time, have a good night, and